Good, Sakib, how are you?
Today we are going to talk about tennis. Okay, the big Wimbledon is coming, the mecca of tennis, which is known for glorious matches, and Federer is famous for. And players are made there. The grass court is always like traditional white dress, white kapde pehne, they wear white clothes and all.
Like yours.
Yeah, my shirt. But
With no sponsors.
But so I want to start now with this is a preview for Wimbledon. Uh, Already when we are shooting this, Wimbledon has started some of the matches, and an upset has already happened in the first matches. Tsitsipas, the finalist in the French Open, has lost in straight sets in the first round. So I'll start off with Heather. Heather, what do you think just happened here? What would you consider is the reason Tsitsipas is lost? Is it the French Open and so close to playing in Wimbledon, the time period, the gap, or maybe grass didn't suit the style? You can elaborate on all of that.
Well, even Novak Djokovic was mentioning in his press conference that the French Open has taken a lot out of him emotionally and physically. And we also saw that he was also down a set. But you see, this is where the big three are so mentally tough that they can overcome any type of adversity. Whereas these next geners, Tsitsipas included, he lost a very close five-setter to Djokovic, should have been a Grand Slam champion perhaps. He recently also lost his grandmother. And grass is not his favorite surface. So all those factors combined, along with a very good opponent on grass, Francis Tiafoe, serving big, as a decent game, he just couldn't cope with the pressure. And also Tsitsipas, again, he hasn't returned well on grass since he's entered the main draw. He has a very big backswing, where on grass you need to have short backswings because of the speed of the court. So same technical problems and mental problems led to this demise. Initially, it was a 50-50 match. People were predicting it to be close, but in the end,
You had called it. We were talking on WhatsApp, and Heather, before when the match was in the first set, he said, "I guarantee Tsitsipas is losing." So he had said
he looked flat, emotionally and physically, probably, which is understandable. But I'm just disappointed that it was that predictable because I knew he was going to lose, and I wanted to be wrong. Not a five-setter, but I wanted them to show this fight now when they're down and out. When
the next game you were frustrated
yes.
mostly. So Usman, I'll come to you a little bit about this match today. Tsitsipas losing. Are you? What do you think about it?
I think chaining surfaces takes a toll on the player. Okay.
Do you think also from previous years, this year the time period between the French Open and Wimbledon is quite less?
Exactly, that's what I was about to talk. First of all, chaining surfaces, you need a lot of time to get to just to the new surface because you've been playing the clay season for literally three months, I guess, and you have 280, 500, two Masters, then you have a Grand Slam, so you play a lot of matches on clay, and the game is totally different when you compare it with the game on grass. The rallies and the speed of the balls as well. So when you move to grass, you need to adjust your game, and you only have a span of 2 weeks. And also, coming from clay, and especially coming in the form of final rounds like Tsitsipas and Djokovic, they were in the final, and they played long matches as well. So their bodies were exhausted.
Even Djokovic dropped a set today, and
so that's the reason Djokovic dropped the first set because he was exhausted.
I actually thought that he was like doing a warm-up probably.
Yeah, he does that. I think he can also say that he might doing it on purpose because he always comes back. So I think he was also drained, Djokovic. So I was predicting that he was going to lose a set in this first round because it takes time to get hold of it. And these are the quality of great players, as I was talking. They come back really fast in the game. They adjust to the conditions and the surface very quick. So he recovered and Tsitsipas couldn't because he wasn't that experienced.
Anyways, the moral of the story now is that Djokovic has gone through, Tsitsipas is out. Djokovic is the defending champion since 2018 now. He's been champion for 3 years now, Wimbledon, because 1 year he didn't play for COVID. 2019 was the last time Djokovic won Wimbledon, and he beat Federer. I'm looking at Heather because
glorious moment.
Because as a Federer fan, I would like to come to him first because for Federer fans, I know this match is like a heartbreak in some way. So,
well, obviously,
would you we'll start off with that because now Djokovic is the defending champion and he started off with a winning start in the first round. that was one of the most epic finals. It's a five-setter, and I remember that day the Cricket World Cup final was on at the same
Best
time,
day for sports.
and it was going crazy. Like I was watching both.
Time, same
I
city.
don't think I saw a single ball of the World Cup final because
Of what you were going
because
through.
you know Federer at his age. I just saw the last Super
And
Over.
Federer had match points and
I think it
all
was
of
the
that.
one of the most epic
So
matches.
what we'll do is I'll keep quiet because this is a let Heather talk about this match a little bit because
Well, as a Federer fan, we were kind of getting warmed up to it because it wasn't the first time that Djokovic had come back against him from 2015.
Yeah.
The 2010 US Open semi-final, it was on Djokovic serve where Federer had 40 and Djokovic was on 15, and it was, I think, 5-4, and Federer had 2 match points and he lost from there. Then again, the next year at the US Open on Federer serve, he had 40, 15, he lost from there. But this time it was the final, 2 championship points.
He should have won that match.
He should have won that match. I think the first
you
point.
know I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's an anecdote I'm sharing. I was watching the Wimbledon preview that day, and just before this Wimbledon, they were interviewing Djokovic, and Djokovic's word. Djokovic, you can sense he's an arrogant guy, but his words.
Confident.
Is confident, but in this moment, he openly said that Federer was the better player. But I never even broke his serve during the whole match. He had more points than me, and he openly said he was a better player. It's just
I think
I won the game.
like
So, but the point was that yes, Usman he will continue.
I would like to add a few points because Federer did have more points than Djokovic. But the thing about Djokovic is that he takes the crucial points.
Yeah,
the point
that's
which
what I was
matters.
coming to
That's
about.
the difference. He wins the tiebreak.
So in that match, probably Djokovic got the key moments. Really, it went his way, and he took
But
it.
Djokovic somehow seems to take that fearless approach when he's down match
That's
points.
his mental.
Approach, yes, I think, but he's done it 3 times now, so can't really call it a fluke. Having said
Yeah.
that, if Federer had, you remember on the first point at 40-15, Federer almost hit an ace, but unfortunately the ball hit the net and sort of came back
At
over
this
Federer's
level,
side.
the margins are so tiny that any little mistake will be punished, and
Although,
Federer would be regretting
Just-
himself at this time as well. But
although Federer said in his interview that he had pretty much forgotten about the match, because honestly, I don't think Federer could have done much different other than hit an ace. And you know, at 40-15, 21st Grand Slam title, Grand Slam final, I think what was it, 8-7 or something in the 5th set.
But historically, this game has gone now is probably one of the best tennis matches of all time. With
Top,
the-
I would say in top 3.
because of the result, the impact. Because imagine
Longest
the
slam final at
difference
Wimbledon.
it would have made. The difference would have been that Federer at this point would have been at 21 Grand Slams. But right now, if Djokovic this year takes the Wimbledon, he's going equal with Nadal and Federer. So that is the difference. That's the impact this match has made.
People compare these 3 players with like each other, but I don't know about their like performance wise, but mentally wise, I think Djokovic is the strongest right now among the 3.
The other thing is, even if Federer had won that match, I pretty much still would have felt that
If
Djokovic would have been
Djokovic
the favorite to
taken
overtake
away,
both
yeah.
Federer and Nadal. Maybe he would have been 1 or 2 ahead. The difference wouldn't have been as much as it probably
But
would
Because,
the
have been.
biggest achievement would have been at this age winning that slam.
Obviously, you were Federer and Nadal fans, but it's clear through numbers as well. Since the end of the last decade, from 2011, Djokovic has been completely dominant towards both Federer and Nadal. He has dominated both of them pretty much
15
since.
slams,
yeah.
which Mr. Sack updated us. 15 slams for
Yes.
So
Djokovic.
since
I think
2011,
Yes.
so he's pretty. You can say that he entered when Nadal and Federer were losing their level of peak tennis, but
But he
that's
learned a
true.
lot from them.
I disagree
But-
actually. I think in 2011 he had to literally break through both of them because Federer was playing. He had won the Australian Open in 2010. He was playing
see
fantastic
now
tennis in
maybe
2011.
Federer fans are now having arguments to give that Djokovic probably is the GOAT and he's the greatest.
No, I'm trying to comment as neutrally as I possibly can. Although I will always believe Federer is the GOAT because of the other things he's done on the sport, and obviously
So
people will
Usman, I'll
disagree.
come to you then. Then you have to tell
This
me
disagreement will come
what
up.
Heather is thinking right now during this Wimbledon, because obviously your clay court season is over. You had the chance, your player had the chance, sorry, to take his 21st Grand Slam. He missed out. But right now, what do you think? Like Heather was before talking to you. Now you can. What do you think Heather does in his mind? Is he working out permutations and probabilities of how players will get out? So Federer gets this easy way to the final, and now somehow he gets the Wimbledon. Do you think what is Heather thinking right now?
I think obviously as a Federer fan and as Heather, what his mind must be thinking right now that obviously they want Federer to win the Grand Slam, the Wimbledon,
Because
especially.
obviously, let me remind people who are watching us as well, because we are only talking as fans. We are not analysts of games or anything. So this is the fun point because he's a Federer fan. Whatever we talk about here in this channel, we're talking as fans more of the sport and that.
The worst part of this year's Wimbledon is no matter who he faces, he has a chance
But
to lose.
you know what? I really enjoyed thoroughly the last Wimbledon final. Thoroughly.
Obviously, look at a smile on his face.
And when I got that
I enjoyed
which
this
was,
year's French
which was
semi-final.
unexpected, literally it made my day. I still watch the highlights of that match till today.
Yeah, he tells me.
Yeah.
He also tells me to, if you want to start watching more tennis, watch that.
But I don't rub it on the Federer fan. Actually, it was a brilliant match. Actually, it was one of
I
the
keep
finals.
watching the semi-finals again and again.
Now you have a chance for the next 4 years at least watch Djokovic.
But I'm sure this was more painful compared to the semi-final. Even Federer fans agree to that. 3 championship points at the age of 39, winning the Wimbledon.
Impact hai.
You cannot beat that.
Okay, let's now this was 2019.
Don't be so short.
Now we are in this Wimbledon. So let me. I'll start with Usman then. Come up with some names for me. Like right now, I'm not asking for predictions because it's too early. We want to go with the predictions when we come with our next episode, which is during the middle of the Wimbledon going on. Then we have some players we know that are through to the quarters, and we can discuss that. But you must have some players in your mind who might surprise us in Wimbledon, or you think might be a favorite to win, maybe an upset to bring out, or maybe someone we wouldn't think about winning the Wimbledon altogether. Do you have any players in mind?
Yeah, I think Bertini is a player which I think is really good on grass and he's improving. So he will have a chance to go deep in the.
But I feel
in the
like
table.
players who serve really well have a lot of more chances on grass court, and because
The serve plus one shot.
the serve plus one, because they want to quickly finish rallies, and that's what works. Especially players who can come to the net, who can come and play serve and volley, sort of Pete Sampras style. Yeah.
Although Berrettini isn't really good at the net, but he's got a very good backhand slice.
And he has a very good serve.
He's a very good serve and a very good forehand, so he has all the makings to really go deep in the tournament. But can he figure it out mentally?
What other players?
If you talk about a newcomer, then I would say Alex.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant player. He defeated Federer in the Queens, and I think he has a good chance because he's really good on grass. And Nadal is a coach of him as well.
Tony Nadal.
Nadal.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he's been making some articles as well.
Yes,
I've been reading
he
about
really
him.
believes in that specific.
And he's
player.
a specific grass court player.
And he's only 19-year-old.
He has done well on the grass. His game seems to suit the grass for whatever reason. I think it's just that he manages to find power and penetration on the court. Although he hasn't done really well in the slams like the other guys, but I pick Berrettini. I have a lot of expectations from Medvedev because he recently
He
just
also
won.
was thinking he's the second rank.
He's the second rank. He just won Mallorca. Although the conditions in Mallorca are completely different.
Heather, tell me, has he done well in Wimbledon before? Has he reached a certain place where
none of the next geners, unfortunately, have done well at Wimbledon. I think Alexander Zverev is the only one who probably got to the quarterfinal or the fourth round, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Medvedev is improving on every surface. So I think he will impress us on grass as well.
He should do well here because the bounce of the ball is extremely low here. It's fast. He does well on those conditions on hard courts. The Australian Open, Cincinnati, the quicker, lower bouncing surfaces, indoor conditions in Paris and the
he covers the court well as well.
What do you feel about there's Zverev also, obviously his name is there. Rublev as well. Is he a good grass court player?
I don't think Rublev and Zverev will go ahead. They will have upsets. I think Heather might be having a different perspective.
No, I think Zverev, if he gets too passive like he does on hard courts where he tends to retreat back, and just sort of just returns the ball and doesn't really attack the opponent, then he'll be in trouble because in the grass court you can't afford to do that because once the other guy starts dominating, you'll pretty much the point will be over because it isn't a slow surface. Having said that, maybe that will bring out the best in Zverev because he is at his best when he's trying to be aggressive, particularly on the serve and his forehand. So I have high hopes from Zverev. I think this year he might go deep. Might not win it, but I think he might reach the semis.
I was actually impressed by the guy who beat Tsitsipas today as well. He's a former quarter-finalist as well in the Australian Open.
He's really good on hard
He's
court.
been injured recently, that's why his ranking had been dropped. But his serve was pretty good.
Well, not taking anything away from him, but I think it was mainly 60 passes level, not being up to the mark today. Then
I'm
Yeah,
not
for
saying
sure.
he's going to win, but I
I
was
know,
impressed
yeah.
by how
He
he's
might
playing
go
on
to
his
the
serve.
fourth or even
being a
quarterfinal.
top 5 player, which is
Yeah.
good enough. Grand Slam finalist,
Mm.
60
Yeah.
pass. So yeah.
Let's talk about the big two right now in the
Yeah, so I was
draw.
coming to that.
Yeah.
So, Djokovic, do you feel what Djokovic has it? Because there can be factors about him being tired a little bit because of French Open, playing a longer game. But obviously, I would like to extend the fact that we have to talk about Djokovic as he's human. But if we don't talk about it like that, then Djokovic can do anything. He's pretty much doing anything anyway.
Well, after French
But,
Open, we can't
so
say that he's
As
human.
human, do you think it can be affected towards him that he might get tired at times?
Well, he himself admitted in the press conference that he is emotionally a bit drained and exhausted and tired, and we maybe saw a bit of those symptoms in the first set. Although Draper was serving really well on his second serve, Djokovic had love 40. I think one time he had 7 break points, couldn't convert a single one of them. Was slipping on the grass. Maybe he wasn't all there yet on Wimbledon, Djokovic, but I have a feeling it's not going to be as smooth for him as it usually is because, like you said, he is still human at the end of the day. He's still 34 years old. He just passed the biggest test in tennis.
And also that like the previous time I had said in the French Open, before I haven't predicted a particular player who's going to win, but I've said for myself that I feel like Federer and Djokovic will not win this Wimbledon. So both of them are not winning it. That's my prediction, anyways.
I have a similar
And
feeling.
then I have a specific player when we reach the quarterfinals time, so we can predict a specific player who might win. But okay, we've talked about Djokovic, and we feel that obviously betting against Djokovic is very difficult, anyways. But he's there. We'll see if an upset happens. That's what the tournament to see. That's what the fun part of Wimbledon is. We're gonna see matches, and till the next weekend we come for Wimbledon.
Watch out for John Isner, by the way.
A server, big server.
Big serve.
Yeah. So now we'll come to the big player. I'm going to talk to Heather first because it's his favorite player, and then I'm going to come to Usman about him as well.
Best players.
Federer, Roger Federer.
Who's that? I've heard his name. Yeah.
Ferrero Rocher or Roger
I think it's
Federer?
Black
Played
and
in
white
the dark. He's not in the draw.
But Roger Federer,
Anyways.
yes. So Heather, tell me. I know you're being realistic, you're being a pessimist that you think Federer cannot win, but as a fan,
Even as
Tell
a
me.
fan.
if you no, but tell me inside, you feel that Federer can win this year? He has a chance. Is there a miracle?
Don't give him false hope.
Honestly, even as a fan, a passionate fan, it is very, 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 very unlikely that Roger Federer will win Wimbledon this year because number one, it'll be very hard for him to get through the first round based on what we've seen. He seems to get more tired, which is naturally. He's 39, 2 knee surgeries. He's only played 8 matches this year. Don't forget, heading into Wimbledon.
Yeah.
If he does get through the first week, he'll have to face most probably a Novak Djokovic or someone else in the top 10, perhaps who'll be playing the tennis of their lives at that point in time because none of them have made it to the semis or finals. So obviously, as a Federer fan, nothing can get better than Federer winning Wimbledon one more time. But I honestly think it's the first time that I'm going to say it's impossible for Roger Federer to win Wimbledon this year. I hope I'm proven wrong.
That's a statement.
It's impossible.
Let's go to Usman now. Usman can talk about his favorite player, Roger Federer.
Yeah, he's not my favorite at all. First of all,
Can I comment on Nadal?
I will talk about both Djokovic and Federer. First of all, I will talk about Federer because you started with Federer, and I think Federer, after having 2 knee surgeries, as you mentioned, it's really hard to recover and to come back the way you were playing. As you can see, Andy Murray had a hip surgery, hip replacement. In fact, he never reached his peak like he was before. There's nothing compared to knee
Anybody
surgery.
is playing as well today.
Yeah.
right?
Strength tonight, yeah.
He's still trying to find out, but 2 knee surgeries is a lot, and also being out of the game
Being
for like
rusty, yeah.
more than a year, I think, due to pandemic as well. So come back, and he hasn't had a lot of matches in his bag. So these other players, they have been playing a lot of tennis in the past year. So I think he will struggle, and also I think his body will accept playing long matches, long brutal matches, especially a 5-setter. So he won't be able to go for long matches. And if he gets any player in the top 10, will be very tough for him. And the bad thing is that he's gotten Mazzoni, the name of the player, in the first round. Marino, sorry. Marino, he got it, and he was in the final at Queens a week ago.
He's a good
And he was
grassroots
defeated by Evans. So, and he gave a tough time to Evans. So he's the finalist in the 8500. So you never know, there might be an upset. Which I don't know, my sixth sense is feeling or
So Usman
saying
is
that there might be an upset tomorrow and Federer might lose. I'm even happy about the.
I want to
sixth
zoom in on Heather's face
Yeah.
right now. Federer losing it the
sense.
first
There
round.
might be an upset. If he goes,
Just for that, I'm going to back Federer tomorrow to the death.
If
He will win.
if he wins tomorrow, which I doubt, then he will go further. But no more than
But
that.
you feel that this is the most difficult round he
Yes.
has to go past. The first
Because you get the hold of it.
The thing is with Manarino, he's just going to place a lot of balls back in play. He doesn't really have the firepower. He has a very short swing on his forehand. So the only way he can win is if Federer starts making errors, which is extremely possible at this point in time. But if Federer does have a tough match and he gets his game together and gets that positivity, maybe this is what he needs.
Let's see tomorrow. Then tomorrow.
But I still stand by my statement. It is impossible for Roger Federer to win Wimbledon 2021. I hope I am 100% incorrect.
No, I hope.
But Usman has made a statement which has pumped Heather up that Federer is going out in the
But
first
if
round.
he wins tomorrow, then he will go. Probably, I don't think he's going to go more than maximum of
It's funny how this prediction has
Semi-final.
now made this first round match even more entertaining and exciting when
It's a
just a
grand
first
match
round match here.
I think.
So
yeah.
for the both of you.
I think Federer will win in 4 sets in the first round, but I still think later on he's going to
I
struggle.
think he's gonna go down in the quarter or semi. Maximum. If he reaches semi, it's gonna be a big achievement for Federer at the age of
But you
39.
said he's going to lose in the first round.
If he
Okay.
wins the first round,
Okay,
then he's gonna lose in the quarter or semi. I would say.
But you stand by that you think he's losing.
I think there is more than 50% chance that there might be an upset tomorrow.
Whoa.
And talking about Djokovic, I think he's inhuman.
Yeah.
Inhuman.
So he'll win. So Usman has just flat out said that Joker is winning Wimbledon. It's not a bad prediction because obviously,
I know.
Against Djokovic.
Yeah,
so why would you go against Djokovic? It's sort of stupid to think going against.
Well,
But
Djokovic.
even if he's 2 sets down,
If you're a fan of the sports, you recall in 2016 when Djokovic was again at the top of the mountain, he had won Roland Garros. People were saying that he's going to just wipe the floor with everyone. What happens? He loses to Sam Querrey in 4 sets and then just didn't win a major for a year and a half.
That's sports for you.
unless there's an
Exactly.
injury or there's a dip in his form, there might be an exceptional case.
But Usman has been brave this time around. He's given 2 fun predictions from
yeah,
only the preview. So let's see. If
No
they
pressure
come
on
through. No pressure.
I don't know.
And
Doesn't matter.
so this is the main Wimbledon preview we had to talk about, and we're done with the preview now. We'll talk about Wimbledon when we reach the round of 16 stage and quarterfinal stage,
Second week.
the second week. So we can talk about the second week, and then we can come up with predictions with players to pick. Which players do we pick to win the Wimbledon? However, now before ending, we want to take another segment because we talk about all 3 sports: tennis, football, cricket. The Euros is right now going on. We made some predictions. I would like to talk about me first because I've been pretty good. Other than Portugal, I've got all my predictions right. Wales have lost. Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia has won against Netherlands. And the only wrong one I got was Portugal lost yesterday,
Which was correct.
which was correct by Heather. And so right now, Spain is also winning right now, but I lost, so I don't know what's the update, but I predicted Spain as well.
If I get out of the room and
Yeah.
Spain is lost.
I think I picked Spain as well because I said they do
Yeah,
well in the
he
group
also
probably.
We all speak Spain, I think.
You picked Croatia.
No, I didn't. I picked Spain.
Let's check. We'll have the video record anyway, so we can't say that. Anyways, 2 matches now are decided for the quarterfinals. It's Belgium versus Italy, and the other is Denmark versus Czech Republic. What this result between Netherlands and Czech Republic has done is it's opened the draw a little bit for the team because if either Denmark or Czech Republic are now going to be in the semi-finals. Both teams which are not wouldn't have been considered like a semi-final team. So the team coming from the other side is England, Germany team, and they're going to face Ukraine and Sweden, the winner of England, Germany. So you can say that the winner of England, Germany can probably be in a short final. You can never
Might actually
guarantee.
go and win it.
Yeah, but they might actually go straight to the final, like on paper if you see.
Italy England final perhaps.
Yeah, but You've said France to win. Okay, let's
I said
say.
perhaps.
But my main point was that England and Germany have a good chance now if they win their match. That they might, if on paper you look at it on paper, that they might one of those teams can reach the final straight.
That would be one hell of a match.
But now tell me a prediction regarding the two quarterfinals we can before the next week we come and probably semis will be starting. So we can give the predictions for these two quarters. As Usman, first, what do you feel like between Belgium and Italy who can win and reach the semi-finals of the
After looking at the performance of the last match, Italy hardly won the match. Like it was 1 down.
They were almost losing in VAR.
And they scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes.
They didn't concede the goal. Their match went into extra time.
Yeah, they scored 2 last goals in the extra time.
Yeah.
So that made me 50-50 over Italy because I had given a prediction Italy to win. So I think after looking at that, and what was the score for the Belgium in the previous match?
1-0.
1-0. This is a tough one.
Belgium has a good team.
I think I would say Belgium. I don't want to say Belgium, but I think Belgium.
But do you remember? If you remember, you have said that Italy is going to win the.
I still stick to my answer.
So, but if Belgium and Italy goes out,
looking at the performance of the last match.
Okay,
Belgium will win. But
so you think
I think Italy will win.
Yeah.
But
in this match, you feel Belgium are going to win.
This particular match, but I still think Italy to win.
Okay, your pick was Italy.
Yeah, my pick was.
So, I'm sorry. Before I go to you, I'll also ask about Wales and Czech Republic. Oh, sorry, Denmark and Czech Republic.
The match is good.
It's like an even match actually.
Yeah.
You don't even care about both teams.
I don't care. Yeah. I was gonna say a draw, but there won't be a draw.
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
You pick Czech Republic. And who do you pick for both games? Belgium, Italy is a bigger or
I think Italy will probably learn from their previous match. They're going to regroup and they're going to destroy Belgium.
Destroy Belgium.
I'm going to make that statement.
I'm happy about that.
And between Czech Republic or Czech Republic and Denmark,
Czechoslovakia. Say it in Russian.
I think Czech Republic might ride that momentum for one more match, perhaps.
Okay, so now my predictions, and I feel Italy are going to beat Belgium. I think Italy are going to win the semis. And for the other game, again, like I said, Denmark are running on the Christian Eriksen thing. Their players are pumped up. Last match, that's why I said that they're pumped because they're not a very, very exciting team to watch. But since that incident, they've been performing very well. And you can imagine you're a team, you play in a team. One of your teammates just survived. And you're playing a big tournament. The players inside the locker room, imagine how pumped they will be. They wanting to win for that player. You're all colleagues. You're all best friends. So you just wanting to win for your best mate who almost survived.
Playing with passion.
So that's why I feel Denmark are running that right. However, at one point there will be a team which will outclass them because of the skill level probably.
Yes.
But against Czech Republic, I feel Denmark will go through. And in Italy and Belgium, I think Italy, because Belgium has a better squad, I feel, overall. On paper, Lukaku, De Bruyne and all. And the keeper is good for Belgium as well. But Italy feel like a more organized team to me, and I feel they'll
get themselves together.
It wouldn't be like a goal-scoring fest. I feel Italy is a team which can keep you controlled and keep a 0-0 or a 1-1 and take you to extra time and probably take you to penalties and irritate you and get the job done. And maybe they can get the job done properly as well. But I think Italy are going to do the job on Belgium.
Let's see then.
So our two predictions we made for these, and by next week when we come, other matches which will be happening, we'll make a prediction for those. Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you,
good luck to both of you. Your predictions for Wimbledon.
Good luck to me.
Make a big statement of Federer losing tomorrow. So that's why I'm wishing you good luck. So, and you've also said that Djokovic is winning the Wimbledon already. And we both will.
You guys are waiting.
Yeah.
You're gonna look at the stats. Gonna be like, let's see.
I'm already saying that
it's a better option.
Yes.
It's a better option rather than choosing from 64 players, just 32 players or whatever.
It's more fun.
Choose from when the quarterfinals, the business end starts. That's when we choose.
I'll narrow it down to Medvedev and Zverev.
Okay. He's not giving his.
I've just said that Federer and Djokovic are not winning. That's also a big prediction, saying both are not winning. I'm saying Djokovic is not winning. So you said Federer is not winning. I've said Federer, Djokovic, both are not winning.
Djokovic not winning, that's a prediction.
Yeah, so that's a prediction for me. And so everyone has a big statement somehow where we can make something like have fun with it. So,
Yeah.
because you know what I like about these predictions is that when you're watching the match,
Yeah, fine.
it's in your head like, oh, I've said this, I predicted this, maybe.
And it's
I
on the
did-
record. You can't like
so
back out.
You can't back out. So
Yeah,
that's
this
why I
proof-
want to check your crazy
Yeah,
and Spain.
this proof-
Delete this.
yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you.